Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's dustinkreis, and today we're going to do another game discussion. It's been a while since I put up a video, sort of took a little break there, but finished the game, so I figured, hey, let's make a video on it. And the game we're going to discuss today is 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. I've been playing a lot of portable games here lately because I've kind of figured out how I can play games at work in my downtime between cases. So expect a lot of DS, Game Boy Advance, PSP, 3DS games, to be finished here. Still working on Deadly Premonition. Actually, I took a break from it to make this video, so when I get done with this and start posting it, I'll go back to Deadly Premonition. We'll talk about that game in a bit. But what can you say about 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors? Really a fantastic sort of different style of game. And it earns that mature rating very, very heavily. I was actually very surprised by this game. I'm not surprised by the use of language, because I curse like a sailor in my real life, but the fact that it's on a Nintendo system, and you got people saying fuck and shit and things like that, and talking about the things that they talk about in this game, really surprised that Nintendo let this slide by. But maybe they're, trying to court the mature audience, I guess. But really an interesting game, and I think a lot of people jumped on board with this. I jumped on board with it when I found out that it was rare, and I knew my GameStop had a copy, so I went out and grabbed it. And then of course they did the reprint, and I was like, meh. But then they did another reprint with a different cover for Virtue's Last Reward. But yeah, really enjoyed my time with it, and really enjoyed the storyline, even though it didn't quite go where I wanted it to. It went in sort of a more sci-fi direction than I thought it was going to. But that being said, I did really enjoy that sci-fi aspect to it. I really thought that it was pretty cool. And when you realize, what's really going on, you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. But really great stuff. The storyline consists of 9 strangers, or supposed strangers, brought together on a boat by a mysterious villain named Zero, and forced to participate in this game called the Nonary game, where they have to work their way through this sinking ship before it sinks in 9 hours, and get to the exit. And I don't want to go into too much more than that, because to go into it more than that would kind of start spoiling things. But the big thing with this game is the character interactions and seeing the different interactions. There are 6 different endings to this game, so you have to play through it multiple times to get the true ending. I played through it 3 times and got the true ending. So if you don't play through all 6, you'll sort of miss individual characters. Their storylines get a little bit deeper, like Lotus's. I never got her complete storyline. I had to read it on a wiki because I didn't play through the part that would mainly focused on her. So, for all you guys out there who like to really replay your games and get everything out of it that you can, there's a lot of replay value in this game. Most people say, well, I don't want to replay it because I don't want to have to read all that text again. Each replay allows you to fast forward through stuff that you've already seen, and the game will actually stop when you get to something new. So, there'd be like big long stretches of dialogue that I had already seen. I'd press the right D-pad button, and it'd fast forward through all that. Then all of a sudden it would stop, and I'd have to read like literally two lines of text where a character changes a certain something that he says, and then it's right back into fast forwarding again. So it's really kind of cool how they did that and make the replays not that tedious, because it could get a bit tedious. There were a few times where this game actually froze up on me, and I had to restart from a previous save, and I had to reread a bunch of stuff like 2 times because it froze on me twice. And that did get a bit tedious. So it's good that the developers made it so you can work through the stuff you've already read really fast. Because, when you finish this game, you get one of the bad endings, you're immediately going to want to restart it to try to get a new ending. I played it, all 3 endings, straight through. And the second time, the first time I played through it, it was kind of a lengthy game. But the second time I played through it, I kind of got through it in like an hour and a half. And then the third time, because the true ending adds a lot onto the end, maybe like 2 hours or something. So the replays on this are not extremely long. So that's really great. The gameplay is where I really had a lot of fun with this. I mean, for the most part, you're just sitting there reading text because it's a visual novel. But the gameplay really reminded me of these online Flash games that were like all the rage at my college, 10 years ago? And they were called Crimson Room and Viridian Room. I don't know if they made any more beyond that, but the Crimson Room, it just drops you into a room, and you have to click on the various things in the room to find keys or clues to figure out how to get out of this room. And that's what this is. You'll move into a room where things are locked, and then you'll get like a little screen that tells you to seek a way out, and then you have to search the room for clues and sort of figure out how to use those clues to exit the room. Really great stuff, and if you don't use a guide, like there was a couple I had to use a guide on, but if you don't use a guide, there's a real sense of accomplishment for figuring out how to get out of those rooms. Like there's a couple like number puzzles where it just stumped me for so long when I was at work and I couldn't look up on look up how to solve it, so I just had to sit there and bust my knuckles trying to do it. And then finally I figured out how to do it, and I would just you don't know that feeling that's inside of you. You're like, oh man, I did it, So it's really cool, especially if you don't use a guide to get through this game. You get a real sense of accomplishment, and it really makes me want to go back and start playing Hotel Dusk, and get the rest of the Professor Layton games and play those as well. Let's see what else. Graphically, for the most part, you're going to be looking at static pre-rendered shots of rooms as you search around, and then when you get sort of cut scenes, I guess, where the characters are talking to each other. It's kind of like what we have in most modern RPGs now, where a big sort of static sprite will sort of represent them while they're talking, and maybe they'll just kind of cut to a different pose. But every now and then there is a bit of animation in them, and it does look really nice, especially on the DS XL screen. Really nice big sprite, kind of doing a very fluid animation there. But, graphically, it's not going to blow your mind away, but it serves its purpose in the game, and you can't fault it for that. Music-wise, the same kind of thing. Mostly you're getting atmospherics, to sort of, just kind of sounds of the ship creaking and things like that. There is music in the game. However, it never really grabbed me and never really made me... it's not making me go out and look for the soundtrack, you know what I mean? But it serves its purpose. It's never grating. It's always just kind of there to, be a background thing. For the most part, I played the game with the sound down because I was playing it at work and I didn't want to bother other people. But I noticed a lot of songs being reused and things like that, so... but, atmospheric-wise, the sound is really awesome, when explosions happen, things like that. Really cool. But yeah, I would definitely say pick up 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors if you haven't. I know there is a new reprint with a new cover to sort of tie into Virtue's Last Reward. I have not picked that up yet. Tomorrow I'm going to GameStop to pick up Paper Mario. I'll probably pick up Virtue's Last Reward and maybe Halo 4 while I'm there as well. Although I really kind of want Halo 4, but at the same time it's like, just wait, because there's going to be 1,000 million copies out there of it. So, but yeah. Back to 999, I give it my highest recommendation. If you've never played a visual novel game before, this is a great place to start. Really compelling stuff, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting Virtue's Last Reward and playing through that. So hopefully this company, Chunsoft, and let's see, Axis did this one. I think they also got to put out Virtue's Last Reward, but I could be wrong on that. I really hope that, I think that they're finding really great success with this stuff, so I hope they keep making more of them. So yeah, definitely go check this out, guys. Very fantastic stuff. A lot different from what you would think from a normal video game. It seems like the visual novel genre is kind of taking off in a way. I don't know, maybe people are really getting into it more. But anyway, that is it for this video. We'll go back to play Deadly Premonition now and hopefully get that game discussion up very quick. Also, I have the November issue of Nintendo Power. I'll probably shoot that sometime so you guys can peruse it. And then next month, the last issue. So, definitely going to be going through that. It better be that fucking thick. If it's not at least that thick, I'm going to be very upset. Like, it should fill my mailbox when it comes. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.